Alright, so the Xbox One reveal event was today. I'm a little bit behind because I completely forgot because they announced it like a month ago. So I wasn't really, like on track with it because it was so long ago when they announced it. I was excited then and then I just forgot. And yesterday I didn't bother recording it or setting it to record on Spike because I was like watching Soul Eater or something. But I remember it like halfway through, went online, watched it, watched the GT pre-show, game trailers post-show, and obviously the show itself. And so, obviously the topic for today is the Xbox One, which I wrote in my nice giant print letters because I got super excited. I was like, I have to actually make a whole list. I mean, like a two-page list of pretty much everything they mentioned in the show. Um, Everything I enjoyed, big things that are happening that even I'm not excited about, which obviously I'll get to. They're like one of my favorite things, which I got so excited I couldn't even bother continuing in cursive. I just went to print, like broke the lead on my mechanical pencil. But Xbox One, it's a new Xbox, comes out later this year. Obviously no specific date, but odds are, holiday. That's generally how they do it. Comes out this year, no price point either. First thing to talk about is the design. I think it has a great design. It looks really cool. It's like a sleek sort of design. When I first saw it, I thought it looked just like a Blu-ray player. Like it's just like shiny on the front. Here's where the Blu-ray goes. Here's the button. Blu-ray player. And that's pretty much what it looks like to me, except for the fact that it also looks like two devices in one because it's like split right down the middle. So the side where the games go, it's sort of like matte silver, which basically means it's not shiny. And then the other side is shiny, but on the side where the front is matte, the top is shiny, and on the side where the front is shiny, the top is matte. And I think that's also where the fan is because it has a bunch of lines, so that might be where the fan is, so it keeps it cool. But that was the only thing I thought looked a little weird. But overall, I think it has a great design. It looks pretty cool. Um, Along with it looking like a Blu-ray player, it actually does have a Blu-ray drive in it. So if you are like an Xbox fanboy and you like hate Sony for some reason, you don't have to worry now. You can buy the new Xbox and you'll have a Blu-ray player. So that's a cool little thing. They didn't really touch on it. It was actually like a little bullet point for some of the things they mentioned. Hard drive and all that stuff, and there's like Blu-ray player, or Blu-ray drive, same thing. So you will have a Blu-ray drive, Blu-ray player. Um, every new Xbox comes with Kinect, which is also brand new. It's a new Kinect, and it looks like a big bar. It also has like a little sound bar on it, which is for better recognition for speech and things like that. And like I wrote, paired with console with an exclamation point, I underlined it to make sure I mention that. You buy a new Xbox, you get a new Kinect. So if you don't have one, or you don't have a Kinect, you'll get the new better Kinect when you buy the Xbox. And like I said, there's no price point, but if it comes paired with the Kinect, not to mention all the other new features that they're gonna have, I assume it'll be around, I don't know, maybe $350, $400 when you think about it. And I don't know, odds are you might know more than I do as far as how pricing goes, technology, but I would assume that's a good price point for everything that they're doing with this new console. But new Kinect design, like I said, it looks nice. It's bigger, it's wider, it has a lot of cool features. Like I said, better sound recognition, has better skeletal calibration because of a loud airplane, and it can even track your expression and monitor your heartbeat, which I think is really cool. It really shows that they have improved a lot on the Kinect, and not just you can flow better and it recognizes it. You can do a lot more, and also it has active IR. I don't know what that is, but it was basically what they showed it. It was like night vision, and they turned off all the lights, and you could still see it on the TV. And it basically went it was like the gray night vision, not the green you see in games, and it was sort of gray, and you could see everyone perfectly, and even like the guy had a lighter, and it was like it doesn't just show night vision, it filters out other light sources so that you're visible to the camera. And that was pretty cool. Like he had the lighter waving in front of him, and you couldn't actually see it. It wasn't like just a black spot, like it was light, and so it flipped to night vision and contrast, and it turned it into a black spot. It was just gone. So I thought that was really cool. Um, the Kinect also recognizes you with the controller, so it'll, like I said, with the voice recognition, multiple people can play, and it'll recognize each person's voice. And with you and the controller, one of the things they mentioned is it'll instantly load your last save. So I thought that was a really cool feature. You pick it up, and you just like, it's me. It recognizes your face or whatever, which is something they mentioned when they first had the Kinect. If you could scan things and be like, it'll be me, or just Xbox on, all that stuff, and it recognizes you specifically. It really, really does that now. And you can just, have the controller be like, okay, it's you. You have the controller. You're ready to play this game, and here's your last save. You're in the game. And moving to that, it has an instant switch between the different programs or the applications. So you can jump from the game to the movie to TV and music instantaneously. And how they showed it, I really hope that's exactly how it works. Generally, when they do the press demos, that is how, however they show it, that's pretty much how it works. And it was literally fast as that, with like the slightest little delay. And like you could connect it even to live TV. The guy who was on stage at the time, he mentioned how he was subscribed to Comcast, and so it showed what he had available, and he could switch. He was like Xbox Watch Live TV, and Price is Right came on, which Price is Right, that was a good choice for a show. But Price is Right came on, and then it was the Xbox switched to movie, and it switched to Star Trek, and he could go back and forth. It was like Xbox switched to music, switched to game, and there was no load time. It was it went black, it fade to black, light up, and it was whatever thing he just said it was. And the new interface for Xbox Live, the new, like when you first turn the Xbox on, it has like what the last couple of things were that you did, kind of like how it is now, but it's more personalized. It's not just here's your game. It's actually the last couple of apps you actually went to and stuff like that. And I thought that was pretty cool. And then they have a new thing that said trending, which was what your friends are doing and what other people on Xbox Live are doing as well. And you can see, what's really popular, what shows are popular, games, things like that. And one of the features they had, like the pull in and out, was if you're like watching a movie, it was basically like he was watching the movie, he could do this, and basically it's like zoom in and zoom out when you're on your phone and you pinch and zoom. And so he did that, and it zoomed out, and it went to the front screen while the movie kept playing. He could just pull it, and it would zoom back into the movie, full screen. And I thought that was really cool. And I assume you can use that for games as well. And one of the things they didn't really mention as far as switching between apps was Xbox Live Arcade games. I would hope that it's exactly the same, or even regular games that you just decide to download instead of go to the store and buy. I'm sure you could say like, hey Xbox, play Batman Arkham City or whatever, and if you have it downloaded, it'll pull it up on your Xbox. I'm sure that's one of the features too, because it just makes sense, and that seemed pretty sweet. The next point is the Snap program, which is multiple applications can play at once. And once again, he was watching the movie, and he brought up Skype at the same time. So he was on Skype, and he had like Star Trek playing. He could in Skype, he could go on Internet Explorer, and it would be a little bar here, and then the movie, and he could go up and down on Internet Explorer, search movie times for the new Star Trek movie. And he did the zoom out again, and it kept it snapped. It was the movie, and still the snap version all in the little square. And I thought that was really cool. And when he did that, somebody actually whistled. Like, I just put that in one of my notes, like when he went back and did it again, they somebody actually whistled in the crowd. But I thought that was pretty cool. It stayed snapped even when you zoomed out and went back to the homepage. Um, I already did the Skype snap. Oh, the fantasy sports scores. I'm not into fantasy sports or anything like that, but I thought, once again, even if I'm not interested, it's still a cool update to have. And it actually um, auto updates your fantasy league scores, which he did like right after Skype. They were talking about the fantasy leagues, so they show like a basketball game on ESPN, and then he did like the snap program and had the app running, and so and they're like LeBron scored, and it was like bring up he brought up the fantasy, and so it had his league and all his characters, and the score automatically updated, and it showed his rank and his friends' rank and how he went above them, and I thought that's a great thing to have for sports fans because people do use Xbox for sports and all types of things because that's what they've done with Xbox within the past couple of years is trying to make it an all-purpose console, and it's a great function to have. Like I said, I don't do fantasy sports leagues, but they have a ton of stuff for ESPN on Xbox. You can watch this game, that game, whatever you want all at once, kind of like how they do on cable. Like you get the sports packages and you can see all the games at one time and then pick a game to watch. They have that, and now you can see every game, and you don't even have to track your own scores. It'll you can look at it and have the fantasy league app come in, and it'll update each score even on the games you aren't watching, most likely, because it'll update based off of the internet, of course. So I thought that was a really cool little thing to add. And then they showed off the TV guide as far as TV. It's pretty much the same thing. A regular guide. He was watching one show and he was like, what's on HBO? He said, and they brought up the guide on HBO, and he said they did that because it was pretty much, what do you do when you watch TV? You just watch TV, and this cuts out having to remember all the different numbers, looking for the remote and all that stuff. You can just say, hey, go to Sci-Fi, go to HBO, watch this show because it's on, and it'll just switch like that for you. Or you could just say, what's on this channel, and it'll stay on your channel, and the guide will automatically go to that channel, and you can say watch that, and it'll switch instantaneously. So that's some really cool features just to start off. Like I said, 2 whole pages, so there's a lot to talk about. The new controller is pretty cool. It looks a lot like the old Xbox controller. It's a little bit smaller. They have a integrated battery pack, so instead of the little piece like sticking out of the back, it's pretty much built into the top part now. So that's nice. It's a little bit lighter. In the post show, they mentioned it has like HD rumble, so it rumbles even more now than, or it will rumble even more than the current Xbox controllers rumble. It looks cool. What am I thinking? The joysticks, they look nice. They have sort of like a little tread design on the sides of them. Those look pretty cool. They show like a cool little testing in the post show where they test the controller. They push each button a minimum of 2 million times, which I thought was interesting. And they had a robot lift the controller up and down for, like when you play the game and people play like a driving game, because I do this all the time. And you and you try to like jump as if you can just move everything when you like jerk the controller. So they had a robot like lifting the controller up and down to make sure that none of the buttons are accidentally pushed in or anything like that when you move around while you're playing the game. So that was pretty cool. It has Wi-Fi direct radio stack. I have no idea what that is, so if you do, please put that in the comments. That just seemed, it had Wi-Fi and direct radio stack. I don't know. It just seemed like a point worth noting. But there wasn't much about that. It was just basic. Here's the new controller. It looks like the old one. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just update it. So smaller battery pack. The piece on the bottom, it's not the same piece as it is now, where you can like put the mic in and it has the sort of like a dome shape for the end of the mics. So I'm assuming they're gonna have new mics because they look more like a USB piece. So they'll probably have USB integration, with the whole Wi-Fi thing and stuff. So that'll be pretty cool because it's definitely not the same little circle piece that you connect right now with Xbox controllers and their mics. Cloud content, as you know, the cloud has been pretty big the past couple of years. You can save your stuff; it'll be in the cloud. That way, if this device gets destroyed or whatever, you still have all your information and stuff in the cloud. You have all your saves. Steam does it all the time, and they'll save your game in the cloud. That way, when you get a new computer or something, you can still download your last saves and all that stuff. So they're pretty much bringing all that back. I just put cloud content. There's not much else to it. It's still cloud content. It's just more content to have. Um, they have game DVRs. I put in like super scribbly. Yeah, you can see right there. Didn't even bother. I was like, okay, cursive, and then I just got super excited and put DVR, like 3 exclamation points, and like broke the lid on my pencil. So yeah, that was super. It's game DVR. You can record it and put it out on the internet, which PlayStation 4 has that too. So I'm super excited. Either one you get, you have that. And like I said earlier with the whole fanboy thing, if you are a fanboy of Xbox, now you don't have to worry that only PlayStation has the game DVR and recording. You can, record whatever you want. Be good at the game, or if something silly happens, just record that, upload it instantaneously. I assume, based on everything being super fast like it is, I'm pretty sure it'll just be like record, stop record, upload. Just like it is now with certain games. If you have a PlayStation now, if you have Uncharted, you can do the same thing. It's pretty much every match you do is recorded except like lab matches, I think, which kind of sucks. But every match is recorded, and you can just go in, edit, that match, and do a specific camera angle, however you want to do it, and then you can just upload that to YouTube and Facebook and stuff, and it's super quick. And this would be the same thing, except it can be with every single game you have, and you can do it on the spot. So hopefully it'll work out well. It depends on the specific interface, how much you have to do to go into recording and stuff like that. Is it like TV? You just hit a button and now you're recording exactly what you're playing right now. That would be pretty cool, and then you can edit it once you finish it, stuff like that on the files. After you like stop the file and save it and have it on your Xbox and things like that. So we'll have to wait and see exactly how that happens, or if it's just recorded and uploaded and that's it. But I'm sure they'll have more features, editing and all that stuff too. But super excited for that because I've always wanted to do capture gameplay and stuff. You see the videos online all the time. That's just cool to do, and even if you're not gonna upload it, sometimes it's cool to, I'm sure people who play games professionally use that all the time, and they like watch what they did and what their opponents do and see how they might have messed up or how they did well. Like, okay, I remember to do this or do that, and all that stuff. So tons of implications, for game DVR and recording what you play. But all in all, it's going to be super exciting for pretty much everybody because that's what a lot of people like to do. After that, they mentioned like EA and the sports games. The EA demo, I put EA demo, looks nice because it really did. Hopefully that was in game, or at least if it's not actually, well, not in game because I know it's not in game, but hopefully it is a good example of the actual gameplay and what we should expect from future sports games and how they're gonna look. They did a nice little video with different athletes talking about how they learn to play the game and how they advance and evolve as time goes on and how things have changed and how they do certain things to be them when they play that sport. And they mentioned FIFA 14 will have Ultimate Team only on Xbox. I don't really play any sports games, so that's for like you sports fans out there, or FIFA fans. Ultimate Team is gonna be on FIFA 14 and only on Xbox. But I can't really speak too much on that because I don't even know what Ultimate Team is. They show Forza 5. The demo is gameplay, they said, and it sells at launch. It looks really good for a next gen console or next gen game and graphics. I thought it looked fantastic. You know, it's basic Forza Motorsport. It's a really great franchise. It has like real cars and all that stuff, and great graphics. So I'm sure it'll do fantastic. And like I said, it sells at launch. And knowing how popular the franchise is, that's a great title to announce. You know, as a launch title. Remedy is coming out with a new game called Quantum Break. Remedy is definitely one of my favorite companies as far as games. If you don't know them, they're responsible for Max Payne 1 and 2. Rockstar did 3 by themselves. And Remedy is also responsible for the Alan Wake video games, which personally I love both of those franchises. Like they're like some of my favorites. And they're coming out with Quantum Break, which is a time manipulation type game. They didn't show it wasn't in game or anything. It was just the first teaser trailer, and there's like a bank heist. There was a big explosion, and it was like time was slowed down. So you might play like this cop or something. I don't know, but it's like time slowed down. Who knows who you play as? But you know what they mentioned or what the guy mentioned on stage was how they do well with story, and that's very true. Like if you've never played Max Payne 1 or 2, you should give them a shot. Like with that, it's there's some of the best games ever made. Like that's just a fact. Like Max Payne 1 and 2 are like some of the best games. Period. And Alan Wake is as well, as far as I'm concerned. It's kind of like, uh, I guess the best thing I can tell you, it's like Twilight Zone, the video game, and it's really good. It has like great creepy moments. The story has some fantastic twists, and it's just a really fun game. And when I was watching it, I was just paused when I first saw it, and because that was like the second thing I saw, because when I came in late, and I was just like, because he was talking about Remy, I was just like just sitting there like, and then I had to like catch myself. I was like, okay, just gotta relax. But unfortunately it wasn't Alan Wake 2, which is what I was hoping it was, so I wasn't as excited anymore. But it is something brand new, and like I said, Remedy does fantastic games. And they mentioned how, you know, on stage, he mentioned Remedy is good for story, and that's kind of their big thing. They have great action, but their story, you know, it really gets you. So I'm definitely excited for that, because Remedy, like I said, one of my favorite companies in video games, and I'm always excited for whatever they have next. More titles in development now than ever in history. That's something they mentioned. So that's really cool, just to have, you know, so many new titles coming out at one time. It might seem like a lot, and it always sucks when they actually all come out at the same time. But when they're announced at the same time, it's just really exciting. You never know what's gonna come out. You know, like this new franchise or the next chapter in this franchise. You know, you can get excited for that stuff. And something they mentioned was there would be more than 15 exclusive titles in the first year for Xbox One, and 8 of them are brand new franchises. So that was really exciting. When you have more than half the games are going to be brand new IPs, which are intellectual properties if you don't know what IP is. But that's really cool. I'm assuming Quantum Break is going to be one of the exclusives for Xbox One, since they mentioned it. And that was really the only game that I can think of that was actually like brand new. Like everything else, you know, Forza 5 and, you know, the EA games, those are, you know, like I said, next chapters pretty much. But Quantum Break was brand new, so I assume it's going to be one of the exclusives, since they brought it up at the press conference. On the Xbox Live interface, they have recommendations based on your viewing habits. So just like on YouTube, when you watch a video, or you know, certain types of videos, you come back a different day to be like, this is recommended for you. That will come up. A new thing for Halo fans, Halo TV show is being made. I thought that was really cool, and it's being made with Steven Spielberg. I also put I put Halo TV show with Steven Spielberg dash cool, because I thought that was cool. I'm not a huge fan of Halo. I like Halo. I don't own any of the games, and honestly, I've played 1, 2, and 3, but I only played 2 and 3 for the first time ever last year. And I was just at a friend's house, and we played Halo 2 and 3. The first time I played Halo was with my cousin a long time ago, and all I remember is I couldn't drive on the ice. I kept spinning around because when you turn the camera, he'd turn the wheel, so I kept staying on the ice. And we shot a bunch of aliens, and then the little creepy things were attacking us, and we killed a bunch of those. And that's all I remember of Halo 1. But I do like the franchise. I think it's pretty cool. 343 doing Halo 4, 5, and 6 pretty much. And I thought they were going to announce the next Halo, but it was a bit of a twist with the Halo TV show. And I think it'll be pretty good if you think about some of the things they've done, especially, I think when it's, I want to say it's called Forward Unto Dawn or Before the Dawn. I think it's Forward Unto Dawn. But that's a live action, you know, series that they did that came out really well. I haven't watched it, but I've heard reviews and heard things, and everyone pretty much loves the show. And it was a live action Halo franchise, and it was really well done. And they have a lot of stories outside of the games as well. You know, books and comics. They have many stories. I saw the Halo Legends movie. That was pretty cool. It had a bunch of different stories from different times and different characters. That was actually pretty cool. So I think it'll do really well. Also, Steven Spielberg, he does tend to do pretty popular films, so I think it'll work out nicely. Um, Release this year. I already mentioned that as for the console itself. It releases this year, and then on to Call of Duty. Now, Call of Duty Ghost, I hadn't looked at anything about it because I don't really care that much about Call of Duty. And honestly, I thought it was just DLC for Call of Duty. I thought it just had a name and they were just advertising Call of Duty Ghost, a new pack or whatever. But it is a brand new Call of Duty game. It's, they mentioned like we don't just want to do like Modern Warfare 4. They wanted to take a new direction on the franchise to keep it brand new and fresh, and it looks fantastic, honestly. And the content, the downloadable content, all the special map packs, all that stuff, it's still going to be first on Xbox. So like a few months exclusive for Xbox, like they have been for, I think, pretty much forever, ever since they started doing that, which I think was, it might have been during like Modern Warfare 2 when they first started doing that. So all the extra content is going to be on Xbox first, and then PS3 later, and Wii U later. Um, is it Call of Duty Ghosts? All new engine that looks great. It, like I said, it does look fantastic. Also, the texture resolution, I just wrote it all down. Texture resolution is phenomenal. I'm pretty sure I spelled phenomenal wrong. They talked about arms because you see your hands and stuff in the Call of Duty games because it's a first-person shooter, and so they would show comparisons. They would say like this is a facial model of a character from Modern Warfare 3, and then they'd show the face of a character from the new game, and it's like insanely detailed. And then they show the hands in Modern Warfare 3, and then they show like the whole arm, and they actually had hair on the arm. Hair is shown, cuts and bruises on the arm, and even dirt. They had like dirt under the fingernails. I thought that was really cool. And probably my favorite part about it, I just put doggy because you get a dog on your squad this time, and I don't know. I had a dog. She was cool, so just doggy. That's pretty sweet. And they have a lot of detail for the dog. The dog isn't a Rottweiler. That sucks, but I'm not making the game, so I can't just make whatever I want. But the dog is, I have no idea what type of dog it is. I'm not like crazy about dogs. It's the basic like army dog. It's one type of dog. It's that one. So they modeled the dog in the game after that actual dog, and they showed all the detail. The actual dog, he has like scratches and stuff. They modeled all of that after the actual dog. They had little scratches on the 3D model, and they even had like a tattoo in the dog's ear, which I thought was really cool. And once again, they showed a little comparison. Like you can see the teeth of the dog from Modern Warfare 3, and then they show the teeth, or they show the whole dog. But I don't, for some reason, I really noticed the teeth. They just looked like crappy, ugly teeth. Like if a person had like black teeth, that's what it looked like to me. And then they showed the new dog from the new Call of Duty, and you could see the spaces in between the teeth and stuff like that. And it was really detailed, and I just thought that was really great. The dog has all the gear and all that stuff, and It's all that's on going to be in the game, and it's highly detailed and it looks amazing. They also mentioned fluid dynamics, as in like actual fluids and liquids. You know, water dynamics, lighting dynamics, like smoke and stuff like that. They mentioned they have like new AI dynamics for. They even have like AI fish that move out of the way when you get close to them. Excuse me. In the underwater levels, which is just like a little thing, and they showed a model, um, like when fish all gather together and they're basically in like a giant like pool. They had that in the model, so that's probably going to be in the game, and I'd like to see that. And you know, you could play the section over and over again, and like maybe interact with the fish from the bottom, and they sort of spread out, or you know, like swim down from the top, and you can watch them all spread out, you know, underneath you or something like that. I think that's pretty cool because even though that's such a small little thing that you probably wouldn't interact with too much, those sort of minor details as far as AI interaction and interaction with the environment in general, that's generally the type of things in games that are just, you know, nice little bits and pieces that you can enjoy and think about after you've beaten the game, you know, once or twice. Uh, they have dynamic maps for multiplayer, which I thought was cool. They have earthquakes and floods, character interactions, so you can have, you know, they showed like a truck that carries lumber or like, you know, logs. I guess they like, you know, undid the latch and all the logs like fell off the truck and fell down this hill. So that would change the map, and you know, basically that cover is gone now, and you could have killed someone from that doing that, you know, trick pretty much, and it changes how you run through that section wherever all the logs ended up. So you know, door traps and all types of things. So I think that's pretty cool too. I think the earthquake might be the coolest one because generally earthquakes and floods are the type of dynamic interactions that you see that change things the most for players because you know, well, you know what an earthquake or a flood will do, and you can have that in a game. You know, you're nice and fine, you're running around, then you know, like an entire building could actually collapse and cut off an entire section of the level. So you might not have that spot. You might even be in the building that crumbles and stuff like that. I think is just really cool. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. Even if I don't get the game, you know, obviously you can just look it up when it comes out. But I think that'll be pretty cool for characters or for people to play, you know, when they play online. Something else they added was character customization. Um, you can change the head, the body, skin, all your clothes, your gear, all that stuff. And that's just cool to have for characters so they can dive more into their multiplayer character. It can be you know, when you play online instead of, you know, like it is now where you just select, you know, recon or medic and all whatever the squads are in Call of Duty. Honestly, I don't know, but you select the squad and you get the different gear, and that's pretty much it. Now you can be your own character, and they might even do something with facial recognition because I mean we have that now, and I mean they probably won't because once again it's a first-person shooter. Odds are they won't. There would be no reason for that unless except for other people seeing your character, or if they kept that third person's perspective thing from Modern Warfare 2, which I don't know if they did or didn't in like the other, like in Black Ops 2. I don't know if they still have it or not, but if they have that, then you know I could see facial recognition being a thing, so that would be pretty cool. And that was pretty much it for the announcement. Once again, super excited. Everything they mentioned, like for um, like the whole conference for what it was, I thought it was like fantastic. There was like the only lull really was the part when they mentioned like when they were talking about television and the women came out talking about, you know, all the different shows, but it did lead up to Halo TV. Obviously everything they say has a reason, so I knew like, all right, she's talking about this and that, and it's going to lead up to something. And fortunately it led up to Halo TV and not just we're integrating more stuff about, you know, with TV and things like that. It was, you know, Halo TV. So I really enjoyed that. The rest of the conference I thought was perfect for what it was. It was about an hour and a half, I believe, like an hour, 10 minutes, something like that. It was like just over an hour. So nice and compact. We have E3 coming up in a few weeks, with like 2 weeks really. So of course they're gonna talk more about all the games coming out. Hopefully price. I'm really hoping we get price for the new Xbox and the new PlayStation because that'll really determine, what we can get during the come holiday season. But for what it was so far, it's a nice little announcement. I thought it was fantastic. They announced, a couple of games. They showed in-game footage. They also did for Call of Duty as well as for um, for Horizon, Forza Motorsport, not Horizon. That's a different game. But they showed in-game footage for Call of Duty, so you can probably check that out now too. And if you want to see the whole thing, you can go to GameTrailers.com. It might not be up right now since it ended, like an hour ago. But I'm sure you can go on YouTube and get some highlights and all that stuff. Get the new trailer. I'm sure they have the new trailer out for sure for all the different games. But the conference as a whole, you'll probably have to wait a little bit longer to watch it all in order. But overall, I thought it was a fantastic conference. I cannot wait for E3 like every year. I'm super excited for that. It's weird that it's only 2 weeks away. I don't know, it seemed like it would be so much further away, but they mentioned 2 weeks, and I was like, I guess it is. So can't wait for that. Excited to see all the new games and all the gadgets and all that stuff. Well, not really gadgets, but new features for tech and all that for the games. But let me know what you thought about the new Xbox if you saw it. The new games. What are you hoping for as far as Forza and Call of Duty? If you saw the trailer for Quantum Dream, what do you think of that? Because like I said, I love Remedy. They do very well as far as story, and this seems more action based than even Max Payne, which was pretty much slow motion, gunfights, and that's awesome, especially if you like John Woo stuff. So, with time manipulation and all that, I feel like it's going to be even more action packed than their other games, and I feel like they could really pull it off. So, comment below, let me know what you think about everything Xbox right now. Rate and subscribe if you like. Thanks for watching.